Hi, everyone. My name is Lia Grainger, and I'm the co-host of Curtain Call. It's a weekly series, a live interview series on Instagram where we talk with different women in the music industry. Hi, Tamar. There's my co-host. Where we talk with different people in the music industry, different women in the music industry about their careers, about different struggles that they've faced, yeah, and how they're doing now and their plans for the future at this weird time. And Curtain Call is presented by FabCollab. And if you haven't heard of FabCollab, it's a new initiative. It rose out of the pandemic as a platform for world music artists in Canada and around the world to present their work in new ways and to continue to connect with their fans, even when we can't be together in person. So it's just sort of a creative enterprise to keep musicians connected to the people that want to hear what they're creating. So this is just one of the things that we're doing, and we're doing it every Wednesday at noon. I'm just going to invite our lovely guest. So as I mentioned, we're going to be we're here every week at 12 o'clock. And so today, as you can see, I have a very beautiful woman joining me. This is
Rosita Stone. Hi.
Hi. So this is Rosita Stone. I'll just tell everybody a little bit about you. Rosita is a Canadian born singer of Mexican and Ukrainian descent.
Some Russian in there too,
yeah. She's collaborated. Oh, hey! And Rosita has collaborated with so many amazing artists. I was learning all about your incredible history. Michael Bublé, Grammy winner Carlo Vives. You've won a Latin Achievement Award, Singer of the Year, and in Toronto, you've performed at places like Harbourfront Centre, Dundas Square, all of these awesome venues, Living Arts Center. And so we're so happy to have you here today. This is your dog. Let's introduce us to your dog.
This is Romeo. Romeo is Cuban.
Hi, Romeo.
And he was literally saved from the streets of Cuba, and we were just obsessed with him. So he's
amazing.
He's like my king.
I understand you have a lot of pets. You have a few pets.
I do. I have a little farm here. If I could save them all, I would. But you did mention that I've played at all these places, but I've also played in small small venues, like from the smallest to the biggest, and everything in between. So hopefully they'll be open again for us to go back and do the same thing, right?
Soon, I hope. So maybe why don't we get started? Why don't you, for people that aren't familiar with your story, can you tell me a little bit just about your background? I know you were born in Canada, but that you've also sort of been all over the place. So what was it like? What's your growing up kind of story?
Well, we moved a lot with my family, and my dad's line of work had us moving to, Colombia and Argentina and Malta and a lot of different places. So we absorbed a lot of different frequencies, a lot of different energies and cultures, music, and a lot of things, some really amazing and some not. At a young age, it formed us, formed me into who I am, my foundation of just acknowledging things in the world that sometimes we might not see from Canada, because, but
yeah, having such a varied experience has to contribute to sort of the things you have to draw on as an artist.
That's right. That's right. And the different influences of music. We had ranchera music. My mom plays guitar, and she'd be like just belting out those rancheras. Yeah. And my dad would be kicking up his leg, dancing to all sorts of music, and he played the fiddle, and we had quite an amazing time.
So was music? It sounds like it was always in your family. I know you travel around, and you mentioned that you lived in Houston and you went to high school there. And so were you like already into music there, or was there any sort of experiences that you had there that
actually until I moved to Toronto, I loved music and I loved to sing, but I was always a dancer. I was in dance class. I was training. I was doing competitions and shows and videos and whatever it was. And, from my dance training. And so that's what I was really, really focused on. And when I moved to Toronto, I got a scholarship here to School of the Arts, and I started singing more. And again, it was just always part of what I did, but predominantly I come from the dance world,
Yeah, me too. I mean, I understand that for sure. Draw.
You're a flamenco dancer. That's amazing. I love it.
And you've done some flamenco, is that true?
Yeah, I've done all different types of dance. Yeah, from Mexican folkloric dance, flamenco, everything from hip hop to ballet, modern jazz.
So, but was music always music is such a huge part of dance. Was it always sort of like there in the background?
Yes, always, always.
You'd mentioned going to some sort of church in Houston. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, I was, where I really found my voice was when I would go with my friend Trina, we'd go to her church in Houston, and Baptist church. And it was off of Tanner Road, near where I lived. And I would go there and just be amazed by the singing and just imbuing myself with that gospel feel. I really, really loved it so much. So I would go there, and I stood out like a sore thumb, but I was there for love for music, and I got such an education from that. I really, really.
And you would sing there? Like everybody sings, I guess. You would sing there? Like everybody joins in and sings?
Yes.
Yeah. Never been.
Oh, just the energy of it was fantastic. So I loved it, and that's was a huge part of how I formed my some of my singing style and voice.
So when you came to Toronto, you were like very focused on dance, and I understand that you toured with dance or with music. Someone had discussed. Tell me the story about how you sort of ended up going on tour.
Well, there's a producer from the East Coast. He's passed away now. He's a lovely, amazing man, and his name is John Allen Cameron, and he was producing these shows, these United Nations tours, and I was a dancer in the first one, and he heard me sing. I think I was just singing off stage or something. So for the next tours, he just put me right as the lead singer, for the whole thing. So I just took it, and I just went with it, and because I'd love to be on stage anyway. Yeah, so it just felt like a natural progression. So that was fun. So we toured all around, Israel.
So where did you go?
Yeah, Israel, Egypt, Germany, Cyprus, the North Pole, Queen Charlotte, and a bunch of other places. Yeah, it was pretty amazing as a teenager to be doing that kind of thing. It was
absolutely. So was that kind of like when you were like maybe singing, maybe like music in addition to dance, as opposed to dance? Did you feel like you had to choose?
No, I didn't feel I had to choose really, but it was just a natural progression for me to do it as well. Yeah.
And so how did your musical career after that? Because it's like now you're the solo artist. How did you sort of develop, like, how did you just grow as an artist and into who you are?
Wow. I mean, there's so many different things that have happened along the way that have shaped what I'm doing and who I am, like all of us. I've played in different bands. I got bands together. Then I've played, I've co-written with all sorts of different people. And now, as far as being a solo artist, I just find it being a lot simpler, and well, especially now, like with the state of the world that we're in. But I still love to collaborate with people, and if I need to get musicians, I will organize them according to what the project is. Yeah, according to what it is, we'll do something specific for that. So sorry, what was the question? I don't
know, it was very vague. Can you tell me a little bit about, because I know that you're like based in Canada, but you've really been able to penetrate the Latin market, and you sing sometimes in English and sometimes in Spanish. So how do you sort of like bridge those two worlds? How is it that you're like able to sort of like move in both spaces?
Well, because I speak both languages, and actually Spanish was my first language. And when I was, well, here in Toronto, well, I live outside of Toronto, but I was doing music in Toronto, and I met an amazing man. His name is Juan Carlos Cordero, and he and I started sending out press releases and things like that to Latin America. We got some videos together and did this send out, and next thing you know, literally within a week, I had Much Music, Latino, and Rolling Stone, and all sorts of people were calling me for phone-in interviews and things like that. And we were like, wow. So they thought I was a huge star down there. Meanwhile, it was him and I just going crazy, just doing
This
all
is a
this
good
work,
tip.
right?
This is a good
At
tip.
that time in my basement apartment, that's kind of how it started. And
It's
it was
amazing
amazing. So
hustle.
I ended up going down there and getting sponsors and going down there for tours, and it just kind of grew from there. It grew from
Mhm.
there, and from a lot of work and effort, and we were doing the work of 10 people, just two of us, and that's how that started. And I got a Harley Davidson cross promotion, and there's just
Amazing.
a lot of amazing things, exciting things that happened. So yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, it
think
was
like probably a lot
fun.
of people, a lot of musicians can probably relate to the fact, or to the fact that like so much of it comes from like your own work. Like no one's gonna hustle as hard for your music as you are, you
That's
know?
right. That's
Mhm.
right. And I find that, and I know a lot of artists would probably say this, is that when you're from somewhere else, they might notice you more. I don't know. Like, I don't know if other
Mhm.
people have that experience. When you're in your own backyard, people might be used to you, or maybe take you for granted. But when you go somewhere else, it's like, hey, who's this? And
Okay.
kind of what
We have a
happened.
question here. We have a question from one of our viewers, Kunal, who's a flamenco dancer in India, who I actually met in Seville. And he was wondering, he's curious about any flamenco experiences you've had. And since you're in Canada, what's your take on Bollywood? So, like, have you had any, but like flamenco, did you train here in Canada?
A man named, no, he was actually a Mexican man who was part Mexican and part from Spain. And this is when I was really little, like young.
Okay.
And then I've also had some classes from Esmeralda here
Oh, yeah,
in
amazing. Absolutely. I
yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So
She's
yeah,
like Toronto flamenco royalty.
there you go. It
She's
really
one, yeah.
is. And
Amazing.
Bollywood, I think it's, pardon
Yeah,
me?
tell us what's your take on Bollywood? Tell Kunal.
Oh, the Bollywood's fun. It's exciting. It's lively. It's colorful, beautiful, and smiles, and just so much. I mean, it's a very powerful influence in our society, and
Totally.
we're seeing it now.
I've done like just a few Bollywood classes at the dance center, I think in Toronto, and it was just like the most fun thing I ever did. It was just like smile on my face. Like I
I
loved it.
know, I
It was so
know.
it's so joyous.
I can't wait to get back to live classes. In so many ways. And I know I'm not the only performer who feels this way.
Hmm.
From artist or songwriter, singer, dancer. But we really need to get back on the stage, or at least I feel that way. Some people feel okay doing everything online, but I think that to do everything online to me is I think doing live performances is really really essential for us,
Absolutely.
because
Yeah,
that's where we get the energy from the audience, and you know
exactly.
it's just all works that way. So I'm really hoping this shifts very
Soon,
soon.
soon. Can you tell me a little bit about because I know you faced like some real incredible life challenges lately. So can you just tell me a little bit about sort of what the last few years have been like in your career? Because I know things were moving and then some things happened. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, there's a few things that have happened. My brother died, then my dad died from medical error, and it took me out. I couldn't. function for a long time from what had happened to him, my dad. And he had never seen me sing yet. And I was just going to the US to do a show, and he died right before that. So that changed everything for me. So it took me a while to regain, and eventually, you know, I have a child. She's amazing. And my father of my child, my husband and father of my child, in a tragic motorcycle accident in Toronto, and that I'm just really coming out of that. I mean, nothing changes that, but I'm just ready to start again. And in many, many ways, I feel like I'm literally starting over, like right from the beginning. You know, regardless of the things I've done before, the world has changed a lot. A lot of things have shifted. And a lot of things have happened in my life for myself and my daughter, and obviously for his family. So I am now ready to do this again. And, you know, sort of coming out of a hiatus and a pandemic. It's really bizarre, but I'm still putting all of my effort and energy into this. And
it's just like really incredible, because that's just such an unexpected tragedy, and like it really seems like you're like charging onwards in the face of everything.
I know you know, I wake up in the morning, the fact that I'm doing it for me is a miracle in itself, because I was taken out, and I just, you know, shifting things again, and I'm here, you know, on my own with my daughter. My family is not in this part of the world really, and this part of Canada. So we are just doing what we can. And she does capoeira, Brazilian.
That's amazing. Yeah, because your husband is a Brazilian origin.
Portuguese and Brazilian roots. And so my daughter does capoeira in his honor. And that's a huge part of our life. It's a huge part of our life. So it's been really something else. Words can't encapsulate it at all.
Yeah, of course.
But everything in me is just ready now to move forward. And I think of him all the time, and everything I'm doing I have him in my mind to move forward and do it for him too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Move forward his songs. He didn't get the chance to move forward his songs in the way he wanted to. So I'm doing that as well in his honor.
Yeah. And it seems like it's like you, in spite of all of these like incredible life challenges, you're very busy right now. And the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic, I know you have a bunch of amazing stuff happening. Like did you just recently release a single? Is that right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, Decide Ya Por Fin. We just released it, and it's doing pretty good. Gotten, you know, some movement happening in radio and internationally, and some press. And the song itself, I recorded it with Dennis Nieves, and he's amazing. We co-produced it, and we did it at his studio. And
where's his studio?
He was in Miami, and fortunately for me, he moved here.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah, exactly. So I was going to Miami previous to that, but he's here now. So we recorded this. I put the song on piano. You know, I wrote it on piano. I write mostly everything on piano, and then we produced around it. And then he's the one who did the video as well, because he had this situation set up. So it's like, let's just do this. So him and his partner named Vance McKenzie, we just put together the video quite quickly, and we put it out first because it was ready first. And I have several more songs and videos to release. And Dennis is amazing.
Will it be like an album? Is it going to be an album eventually?
We're doing a single at a time. Yeah, but it's within an album, but it's a single at a time. And Dennis is amazing. He's done production work for a lot of different really famous Latin American artists and Hispanic
Like
artists.
who?
Shakira,
Oh, wow.
J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, Thalia, David Bisbal from Spain, and
And
many
Rosita
others.
Stone.
Well, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also you were telling me that you have something coming up next week, right? You're going to be shooting something for television. Is this right?
Yes, La Ciudad de Amor, City of Love. It's a show that's going to be aired on Valentine's Day,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
yes, and I'm singing a song. No, I was going to sing one of my own, but I'm choosing to do a tribute to my favorite Mexican composer, Armando Manzanero. He passed away 2 days ago on December 28th,
Yeah,
and I'll be doing a tribute
that's
to him.
wonderful. So he's been
We're one,
influential on you?
oh, absolutely. It's one of his
Mhm.
most famous love songs called Adoro. So I'll be doing that on my own rendition. I've changed some chords around. I'm going to be doing my own interpretation on the piano, and I'm working that out now, literally. Well,
I
and
know
yeah,
it's
so
funny, like now that we're all stuck at home, it's like how do we stay motivated? And it's amazing that you're having like continuing to have projects happening and to be able to work, finding new ways
right.
to work during this time when we can't be doing live performances. It's like
Yeah, I
so
know. I
important.
know. And Armando Manzanero was a huge part of me growing up, the music I listened to. I mean, his songs were very influential. My mother played them all the time. And in Mexico, his songs are famous. Um, so yeah, um, Ciudad de Amor. I'm not sure exactly um, all this details for the where it's going to be aired,
Mhm.
but I'll let everyone know.
Yeah,
And
we're gonna get we want all the information to find your. Kunal says, have you ever been inspired by? Am I saying this right? Chavela Vargas.
yes, yes, definitely. Yay! That's amazing. Yes, for sure. Beautiful. Amazing. Yes.
Kunal should be doing these interviews, I think.
Pardon me?
Kunal, this question comes from Kunal in
Yes,
India,
I know. That's a
and
great, that's a
he has a
great
lot
question.
of
Yes,
awesome
beautiful.
questions.
Mhm. And
Well, do you think maybe you would be willing to perform something for us? We'd be
I
honored to be able
would,
to hear something.
I was going to perform a song I'm co-writing right now, but it's not finished yet. I'm doing a co-write with a producer, a Mexican American producer out of Los Angeles. His name is Chris Flores, and his
Okay.
dad is actually the bass player in Los Lobos, and he's Chris
Wow.
Flores, who he's produced like Fergie from Black Eyed Peas, Guns N'
Mhm.
Roses, The Splash, and stuff like that. So we're doing a co-write right now. I was hoping to have it done for today, but
Yeah.
it's I'm still like coming up with things. It's not solidified, but I have lots of different things, world music. I have songs from Nashville I could play. I could also play the song Decide por fin, how it sounds just on the piano by itself before we produced it.
Yeah, that would be amazing to hear that
Okay, great.
single.
Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to give me a second. I'm just going to take the phone
Okay.
over to, hang on a second. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take the phone over to my, plug it in, over to my studio, my
This is the magic of Instagram Live.
okay, yes. Okay, now. Okay, so I am going to sit back here and let's see if this works.
Yep,
Okay.
you're in the frame. We can see it all.
Okay. Okay, so this is what the CD por fin sounds like without all the production on it. How I brought it to Dennis Nieves in the first place. So I'll just play a little bit. Y decidía por fin, no puedo ir así. Quiero vivir sin dolor. Nada importaba ya. Hoy te necesito más. No pensé enamorarme, sí. Tienes que escoger, una tendrá que perder. Sí, o soy yo quien andará tu amor. Tienes que escoger, una tendrá que perder. Sí, o soy yo quien andará tu amor.
Ole.
Ay, decide ya por fin. No puedo seguir así. Qué oscuro es mi vida sin color. Todo prosperada ya. Hoy tan necesito más. No me sé enamorar. Y así tienes que escoger, una tendrá que perder. Si no soy yo quien ganará tu amor, tienes que escoger, una tendrá que perder. Si no soy yo quien ganará tu amor. Y ganar tu amor, tienes que escoger, no tendrá que perder. Si yo soy yo, y ganar tu amor. Something like that. I'm just kind of
Woo! Beautiful. You have an incredible
and it's in the
voice.
wrong key. I realized I didn't even do it in the key. I just recorded it. But,
Well, it sounded amazing. I wonder, would you be willing, and people can find that single where? I know it's, I've seen the video on YouTube. You
yeah,
can
YouTube.
your website.
On YouTube. Decide por fin, Rosita Stone, YouTube. Yes. And
Amazing.
you can also on my website, rosetastone.com. I'm not sure how much time we have left. If you want,
yeah, would you be able to do maybe one more?
I could do. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to grab the guitar.
Yes, absolutely. Also, I'm going to read something off of the comments here. Ali from FabCollab was mentioning there was a comment from Key Clef Productions saying that. What did they say? Let me just look up here. 1 second. Key Clef Production, that they were offering to help if we need to lower your cost of production. So thanks. I think Ali's going to reach out to them. Yeah, thank you everybody for all of these awesome comments. Everyone, you're signed with Rock Solid Talent, is that right?
We're collaborating. We have a very interesting deal. So we're collaborating to, like, I've joined forces, and it's not a typical deal. So he's come on board to assist and help out in many great ways. So yes, it's a British label. And,
amazing.
Yes, he's heard my songs, and he's Phil Taylor, who's the president of the label. We struck up a deal, and he's joined the team, so it's amazing.
I know you've got like your arms reach to like many different places, continents. That's amazing.
Yes, well, for sure. And we're going to be Spain for sure, the UK, France, Germany, Japan, Australia. We're really going to try to reach all of that, and Latin America. So, and then I have Wanda Ryan from DOC Entertainment helping in Toronto, and I have Juan Carlos Cordero, who helps like incredibly. So it's an amazing team right now.
So what are you going to play for us now?
I was going to, sometimes I have to really think. Okay, I'm going to do a song that is a Spanglish song, and we recorded it, and it's, we're getting ready to pitch this to, she might not be a world musician, but she's a prominent, to Taylor Swift and a few other people. So this is, I don't know if you want to hear a bit of the song, because I did a Spanglish version for myself, but then there's an English version that we're pitching to these artists at the
Well, let's hear
moment.
the
So
Spanglish. You gotta love Spanglish. I know I do. That's what I speak when I'm in Spain.
so this is I'll sing this in the English version. I'm saying okay. I was so naive, you were such a tease. Freedom was your way. It was just for play. We're just having fun. You're not the only one. It's just fantasy. That's just fine with me. I'm really not in love. And I hope you feel the same. But if I cannot, but my body's calling out your name. But I'm really not in love. And I hope you feel the same. I'm not calling out your name. Anyway, that's it, the chorus and the verse.
It's so beautiful. You have such an incredible voice. I'm sure you know this, but yeah, that's wonderful. And
That's more of
it's
a
like,
like a Nashville vibe, like a Nashville-ish vibe. But right, well, I draw a lot of my writing, whether it's world music or in Spanish or you know any
mhm.
kind of style. I draw a lot of my writing from Nashville principles and writing uh, seminars and training that I've done. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I love the Nashville sound. I've spent actually quite a bit of time randomly in Nashville, and it's such a great town, and the music that comes out of there is
I
obviously
know.
legendary.
Absolutely. So that's just a verse and a chorus from that song, and the next verse is in Spanish, and then there's a Spanglish version, and so yes, there's lots going on, and you
Thank you
know,
so much for sharing that. It was really beautiful.
did it come out okay? Because I don't know what it sounds. You know, I
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah, totally, totally. So where can people find out more about you? Like, where are you on the internet? Social, what are some links if people wanna hear more of your work?
Well, on Instagram, Rosita Stone Music, Rosita. It sounds like Rosetta Stone, but it's actually Rosita, Rosita. Rosita Stone Music on Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook, Rosita Stone. And also my website is rositastone.com. So it's all pretty simple that way. And on YouTube, you can find me, my songs on my channel, Rosita Stone. Yeah, if you look up, you'll see the
Wonderful.
upper page. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you can check out the new single. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us and for playing for us and for sharing your story and for all that you've been through and like just to hear about a musical artist persevering in this way and somebody here in Canada as well is really wonderful and really inspiring. So thank you so much. You can also find Rosita links to Rosita's work on our website at FabCollab.ca. Yeah, and we'll be back next week, next Wednesday at noon. We'll be back with Tamara Lana, my co-host, is going to be speaking with Olenka Kleban. She's a Ukrainian singer, and they're going to be celebrating Ukrainian New Year
Oh,
next
I
week.
love it.
Yeah,
Yes, that's fantastic.
so be sure
I
to
have
tune in.
Ukrainian roots.
You should be there as well. Check it
I
out,
will.
Rosita.
I have Ukrainian roots. I have
Yeah,
Ukrainian
actually,
and
so do
Russian roots
I.
from my dad's side, so we're gonna be celebrating. Yes, great.
Wonderful. Yeah, and please be sure to follow us at Fab Collab Live on we're at Fab Collab Live on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we'd love to hear your feedback on Curtain Call and on all of our projects at Fab Collab. So yeah, join us next week at noon on Wednesday. And thank you so much, Rosita. It's been really
Thank
beautiful having
you
you
so much,
on the
Lisa. Thank
program.
you. I so appreciate it. Bye.
And
Love
Happy
to the
New
world.
Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.
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 And goodbye. Happy holidays, everybody.